read your book, The Gold Mine. It was what gave you the inspiration to think I want to give back to the community, but in a form of a book?
Fantastic. That's a very good question, and thank you for talking so well about my book. The inspiration behind the book to start is because I do business coaching. Initially, I actually trained as a chartered accountant, and I was in the corporate world for so many years. So at some point, I realized I can only help a few number of very rich people. And I thought it would be, my gift will be a waste if I do not reach as many people as possible. All right? So that's the inspiration behind writing the book. And that is on one hand. On the other hand is, do you know, you're an athlete, 80% of success is about your mind. Yeah? So the reason why I titled the Gold Mine of Your Mind is your mind is everything. The Buddha actually said that. You remember the first chapter of the book is your mind is everything. And since I published the book, it has reached a lot of people, and I get feedback week after week from people saying, oh, that book actually changed my life. That's bigger and better than a pot of gold. So thank you very much for allowing me to talk about the book.
So yeah, when I read the book, you talked a bit about mindset, and you talked about how to develop a really positive mindset. And 2020 is that year where you just say 2020 and you think, right, I need to do my goal mapping for the year. I need to know, right, okay, this is where I want to get to. How am I going to get there?
Yeah,
it's just the year for it. Now, how do you how do you get your mind to be in a positive state, or in that frame of mind where you can train people to reach that goal?
You say in terms of setting goals for the year, most people think, every new year I set new goals, and then they watch that goal fly by them in a very short space of time, because they're not monitoring what they are doing. It's not enough to just set goals. This is why I don't believe in New Year resolution. New Year resolution is you get pumped up, and then you start the year, you say, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and then you start it in first week, second week, third week, you go back to your old self. Yeah? You go back to your old self and you start behaving the way you used to behave. So, majority of my teaching is around, it's not about teaching people a lot of brand new stuff they haven't heard before. It's about teaching them how to behave in a way that they do not currently behave. Albert Einstein said, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. What I tried to inculcate in my clients and my students, there are a lot of them, is to get their mind right. How do you get your mind right? You need to know yourself. Yeah? And knowing yourself is a very powerful tool for leaders. Because D. Hawk, the CEO of Visa, actually the founder of Visa, said, leadership is 40% managing yourself. So if you don't know yourself, how are you going to manage yourself? So what I teach is for people to know themselves. So let's start from that. How do you know yourself?
How? I don't know who who I am. I've been just given a name by my parents, named Monty.
Yeah.
Madhusudan is my real name.
Yeah.
I'm a cricketer, but that's all I know by the how people identify me by.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going slightly deeper on you. How do you know yourself as a person?
Yeah. So let me give you a clue. If you are in a court of law and you are the judge and you are also the defender, you aren't ever gonna be found guilty, yeah, because you're not gonna be objective. So what I ask people to do is to do a simple psychometric test. The first time I did that test about 20 years ago, I was amazed. I was amazed at how accurate the result was, because it felt like somebody was standing on my shoulder watching every step I've taken all my life and what I'm likely to do tomorrow. So that's a very powerful place to start. And if you understand that, it will tell you what your strengths are. It will tell you what your talents are. It will tell you what your weaknesses are. So people make so much about weaknesses. Peter Drucker said, know your strength and follow that strength. If you can find a vocation where that strength is needed, it doesn't matter what your weaknesses are, you will excel. So this sort of psychometric test will help you find your strength. And when you find your strength, you follow that strength, develop it further, make it better. Imagine yourself, you developed your strength very early. You're one of the very lucky few, who found their talent very, very early in life, and you pursued it. And it has brought you to a level where, you're an ex-England cricketer, and a very good one for that matter. So, but everybody may not be as lucky. Yeah. Most people, if you are not an athlete, if you are not a mathematician or a musician, most people don't even find their gift until they're hitting their 25th or 30th, So people now say, oh, this is what I'm really good at. Then they pursue that and they get extraordinary results. So what I teach young people is find your strengths early. So that psychometric test is one of the ways to do that. And from there, they can build on that and move forward in life.
So what is this psychometric test? People will be listening in, they want to know, I don't know my strength. I need to do the psychometric test. Where do I find it?
Okay. Actually, that's a very good question. Unfortunately, because we are on radio, it's a long link. Yeah. And if people can send me a message on my website, which is mbcconsults.com. It's MBC, Mother Ball Charlie, consult with a K, KONSULT.com, MBC Consult. Or you find me on Facebook, Ayo Benson 1, AYOBENSON. If you find me, just say from Monty, please send me the psychometric test. I will send it to you. It's absolutely free. And actually, I'm going to even give you an additional gift. If you've done the test, you get your result immediately. Send me that result. I can help you review it and guide you through what to do next.
Well, there you go. So if anybody wanted to know their strength in life and they don't know what it is, Ayo Benson is happily will provide you the link. Get in touch with him on Facebook, website, and he's even happy to give you a free tutoring session after we know what the results are. So, if you're thinking, I actually don't want to pay for a life coach or something like that, Ayo Benson is the guy to get in touch. So let's have an advert break and we'll be back.
Fantastic.
News, views, and great Punjabi music. This is Punjab Radio on 558 AM.
स्वर की 5 तक यात्रा ਇਹਦੀ 9 ਸਤੰਬਰ ਤੋਂ 21 ਸਤੰਬਰ 2020 ਤੱਕ ਦੀ ਇਸ ਯਾਤਰਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਖਤ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਪਟਨਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਹਜ਼ੂਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਅਨੰਦਪੁਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਦਮਦਮਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਤਖਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ। ਇਸ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਲਗਜ਼ਰੀ 에ਅਰ ਕੰਡੀਸ਼ਨ ਕੋਚੇਸ, ਲਗਜ਼ਰੀ ਹੋਟਲਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਟੇ, ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਤੇ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਫਲਾਈਟਸ ਦੀ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀ, guide provided throughout the trip, flexibility to stay in India after the trip, the full board meal ਅਤੇ bottled water facility। 31 ਮਾਰਚ 2020 ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਬੁਕਿੰਗ ਕਰਵਾਉਣ ਤੇ 100 ਪਾਉਂਡ ਦਾ ਡਿਸਕਾਊਂਟ ਵੀ। ਵਧੇਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲਈ ਮਨਦੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ 07506865258 ਜਾਂ 02088488877 ਤੇ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰੋ।
It's cancer, they said. My first thought, let's just say it wasn't money, but time off work for treatment and trips to the hospital, paying the mortgage, and the cost of living doesn't go away just because you're living with cancer, and Macmillan can help with that too. My advice? Take their advice, soon as I did.
Macmillan, right there with you. Call 0808 808 0000 now.
एयर इंडिया ਦੀਆਂ ਫਲਾਈਟਸ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਰਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਸਟੈਨਸਟਡ, ਬਰਮਿੰਗਮ ਅਤੇ ਹੀਥਰੋ 에ਅਰਪੋਰਟ ਤੋਂ। ਇੰਦਰਾ ਟਰੈਵਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸਸ ਫॉर ਇਕਨੋਮੀ ਐਂਡ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਕਲਾਸ ਅਤੇ 46 ਤੋਂ ਪਾਰ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਇੰਦਰਾ ਟਰੈਵਲ ਨੂੰ ਟੈਲੀਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ 02084786212, that's 02084786212। PSA, Indra Travel main agents for Air India।
ਬਸ
बस नहीं 10
ਕੀ ਦੱਸ?
miraboiler.com ਦੀ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਆਫਰ।
ਕਾਪੀ ਬੋਇਲਰ ਤੇ 10 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਪਾਰਟ ਐਂਡ ਲੇਬਰ ਦੀ ਗਾਰੰਟੀ
ਤੇ ਨਾਲੇ 10 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਸਰਵਿਸਿੰਗ ਇਨਕਲੂਡਡ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ miraboiler.com ਦੀ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਆਫਰ ਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਉਠਾਓ। ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ
0208 150 2025 0208 150 2025
or visit miraboiler.com।
If you're living with cancer, you haven't just got cancer, you've got questions. Questions about your treatment, questions about side effects, questions about the effects on the people you love. And that's why Macmillan has a support line. If you've got a question about cancer, any question at all, we're here to help. 8 a.m. till 8 p.m, 7 days a week. Search Macmillan Support Line.
Macmillan Cancer Support. Whatever cancer throws your way, we're right there with you.
ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹਰਮਨ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਗੀਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕੋ ਮੰਜ਼ਿਲ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਰੇਡੀਓ।
You listen to Panjab Radio at 558 AM, and I have Ayo Benson with me, who is actually an entrepreneur, but also got a book out called The Gold Mine. And he's gone even further to say that if you don't know your strength in life, it's not like, chuck the foot there, which means, lift the floorboards and think that's my strength. That I have a strong willpower. That's quite general. Ayo Benson is saying, I'll give you the link to the psychometric test. Then you find out slightly deeper about yourself. ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੈਰੈਕਟਰ ਬਾਰੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਜੋਸ਼ 'ਚ ਕੋਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰੇ, or someone speak to you very kind and sweet. So all these different characteristics, everyone has a different makeup. And when you do the psychometric test, Ayo Benson will help you with this and identify what your strength is, which is unique to you. Liverpool are 2-0 up. Ayo Benson, you support Liverpool?
I support Arsenal.
Well, Arsenal are playing today.
Okay, that's good. Can you tell me the result?
Well, I think you need to do a psychometric test.
Yeah.
We don't know what our strength is this year.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm not even sure about the manager they've just employed.
Well, the first manager couldn't speak English. I don't know how they employed him. And the second one is, he's doing better. He's like Pep's assistant.
Yeah, it's not proven. That's the problem. You can't just jump up. We're talking sports now.
Yeah.
You can't just be an assistant for 4 years. It doesn't matter if you are assistant to the best coach in the world. You still need to learn from your experience and be able to make decisions that will benefit the team long term. I'm not sure. It might be good, maybe in 5, 10 years time, but that job is too big for him. As far as I'm concerned, at this point, I wish it would prove me wrong.
Well, I'm sure he would. Well, they're 3-0 up now. Liverpool.
Okay, against who?
Southampton.
Okay, yeah, that's not a surprise.
So you talked about decision making earlier, and we briefed about strengths, and I think you're kind of like really good at helping people identifying what their strengths, their weaknesses are, and then they can go out to reach their goal. Now, one of the things we have, like maybe youngsters, or maybe the general. I'm going to be general about this, in the sort of subcontinent. We find it a little bit difficult to make a decision. We'll always think, "Chalo, boss hoga, the leader in the team. Whatever decision he makes, we just follow." But we don't want to be the leaders.
Yeah.
We would rather be the followers. It's easier.
Yeah. There is something I teach at my seminars. I call it the power of decisions. See, because most people they don't make decisions promptly. The first time I came across how you make decisions promptly and get results was, almost about 20 years ago. I read a book called Think and Grow Rich. That book, let me tell you a bit about the background of the book. It was inspired by Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie was one of the richest men in the world at the time. And he invited the author of the book on Napoleon Hill. Andrew Carnegie, being one of the richest men in the world, told Napoleon Hill, would you work for me for 20 years for free, researching into the principles of success? And Andrew Carnegie was one of the richest men in the world at the time. So Napoleon Hill said yes. Yeah. After he said yes, he brought out a stopwatch from his pocket and showed him that stopwatch. It was on 30 seconds. Andrew Carnegie told him that he's offered that job to 250 people, that if they cross the 1 minute mark before they make decision, he wouldn't give them the job. So 250 people, it's asked 250 people, and it took them more than 1 minute to make that decision, so he didn't give it to them. So Napoleon Hill made that decision in 30 seconds, and he gave him the job. And he produced the book, Think and Grow Rich. He gave him letter to all the richest people in the world at the time, the Rockefeller, Henry Ford, Vanderbilt, gave him access to those people, and he got all their principles of wealth and success and put it in that book. In the book, he emphasized the power of instantaneous decision making. So most successful people, you say, they see an opportunity, they make a decision immediately, commit a decision that they're gonna do it. They don't know how. And I heard that Richard Branson also said, if you get an opportunity and you don't know what to do, he said, say yes to that opportunity and find the ways to do it in future. So the message I want to give people is, when you encounter an opportunity, say yes. Make that instantaneous decision. What's the worst that can happen? Just go for it.
In Punjab, we say hanji. So can you say hanji for us?
Hanji.
That's all they got to say. Start to say hanji.
Okay. So what does that mean?
That means yes in
Ah,
Punjabi.
fantastic. Okay.
And you've got less than a minute to make a decision.
Yeah.
Just say hanji.
Hanji. Say hanji straight away. Fantastic.
Because this is one of the characteristics of how to become rich. It's making instant decisions.
Yeah.
Knowing your strengths. Like, what would be other characteristics? Because some people we have this in our culture. We think, oh, it's his destiny to be rich. Oh, his destiny to be poor. But isn't it his his destiny to make quick decisions as well? Or isn't it his destiny to find his own strengths? You know, sometimes I get caught up in this cycle, and you know, I think you've got to get up and do things yourself.
Yeah, Monty is really very simple. Yeah, it's not rocket science. Principles of success, we mentioned one, follow your strength. Yeah, or two, make instantaneous decision. Now, let me qualify that. Not reckless decision, but instantaneous decision. That is what is called your inner wisdom. Your inner wisdom knows the answer to most things. Yeah? And the first answer that comes to you is from your inner wisdom. If you miss that time frame, that, you know, less than 1 minute time frame, and you start changing your decision, then it's gonna take you a long time. That's why people they do, I call it analysis paralysis.
Yes.
Because they keep thinking about it. They've missed the opportunity. They've got the answer first, then they talk themselves out of the right answer, and then they stuck because now they are in analysis paralysis. So you asked about what are the other factors responsible for success?
Yeah, what are the other variables? You know, these are for the people who say, "Oh, my destiny, it's my destiny. I can't do these things." I'm like, guys, here's the answers by Ayo Benson.
Yeah. So we've looked at the strength. We look at decision making. There is persistence.
Okay.
Persistence is not stubbornly going for things when it's not working, but it's not giving up. Let me quote Henry Ford. He said, "You got a transaction that will take you from A to Z." Yeah, it's you move from A to F, and then you encounter difficulty. Everything you do in life, there is a stage you get to where it's gonna be difficult. You've got to pull through that difficult period and get to the next level. The moment you pull through that difficult period, then it becomes easier. Yeah, but most people, when they get to health and it gets difficult, then they turn back. They go start something else. They change their mind. They go where it is easier. Yeah, and they start something else. The same principle applies. You're gonna hit brick wall at some point. So they hit another brick wall, then they turn back. So imagine somebody doing that throughout life. They're not gonna be successful at anything because you always hit that brick wall in the midst of whatever it is that you're doing. Even Henry Ford himself, when he's already making millions, he hit the brick wall where, you know, some people sued him that he was using their patent, and he wasn't. And he almost wrecked his business, but he persisted and he kept going. And, you know, today the rest is history. So persistence is very, very important, or you call it grit, yeah, where you keep going in the face of obstacles.
It's that, you know, we talk about that British bulldog, that grit. You know, when the going gets tough, then the tough get going.
Yeah, you know, you sports people are, you know, they've hammered that into you times and times again. But there is a correlation between sports and life.
Okay, so let's have an ad break.
Okay.
We'll continue this conversation.
Okay, fantastic. We're on ad break.
Panjab Radio, the first Punjabi radio station in the world.
साउथ हॉल विच खुल गया है पंजाबी खाने दे स्वाद दा बादशाह प्योर वेजिटेरियन रेस्टोरेंट जी हां प्योर वेजिटेरियन रेस्टोरेंट जे ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵੀ ਮਨ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਵੀਕਐਂਡ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਖਾਣ ਦਾ ਅਤੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਫੂਡ ਦਾ ਜ਼ਾਇਕਾ ਲੈਣ ਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਛੇਤੀ ਪਹੁੰਚੋ ਆਹਾਰ ਵੈਜੀਟੇਰੀਅਨ ਰੈਸਟੋਰੈਂਟ variety of Indian and Punjabi cuisine available आहार वेजिटेरियन रेस्टोरेंट 4 to 6 Broadway South Hall तेरी जानकारी ले कॉल करो 0200-857-44555 या फिर तुसी वेबसाइट भी विजिट कर सकते हो aharsouthhall.co.uk
ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ
चाहिए दा फैशन
ਨਵੇਂ ਕੱਪੜਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਭਰੇ ਬੈਗ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਲਿਆ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ
चाहिए दा फैशन
ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹਰ ਵਕਤ ਖਰੀਦਾਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੇਲਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ J&R ਫੈਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਲੇਡੀਜ਼ ਕਾਰਡੀਗਨ ਕਿਡਸ ਬੇਬੀ ਵੇਅਰ ਸਕੂਲ ਵੇਅਰ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਵੇਅਰ ਤੇ ਹਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਰੈਡੀਮੇਡ ਕੱਪੜਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਸ਼ੋਰੂਮ ਤੇ ਵਿਆਹ ਸ਼ਾਦੀਆਂ ਲਈ ਬॉयਜ਼ ਸੂਟਸ ਕੁਰਤੇ ਸ਼ੇਰਵਾਨੀਆਂ ਦੀ
Hessian 137 to 139 Ilford Lane, Ilford, 0208 5532 600.
It's cancer, they said. My first thought, let's just say it wasn't money, but time off work for treatment and trips to the hospital, paying the mortgage, and the cost of living doesn't go away just because you're living with cancer, and Macmillan can help with that too. My advice? Take their advice, soon as I did.
Macmillan, right there with you. Call 0808 808 0000 now.
Every 3 minutes, someone in the UK develops dementia, and there is currently no cure. At Alzheimer's Society, we're working tirelessly to change this, but we can't do it without your help. This June, take on an epic 13 or 26-mile trek through London for Alzheimer's Society. Trek with others who know just how tough dementia can be, taking in the iconic sights of Buckingham Palace, Tower Bridge, and St. Paul's Cathedral. Sign up today, search Trek 26 online and use the code RADIO for a discount this month.
Do something mighty this summer and raise money for Macmillan Cancer Support. Take on the Thames Path Mighty Hike on Saturday the 18th of July and walk 26 or 13 miles along the magnificent River Thames. With spectacular scenery and our team supporting you from start to finish, you'll be amazed at how far you can go. Plus the medal and bubbly at the finish line helps. Sign up today and step forward in support of people living with cancer. Go to macmillan.org.uk/Thamespath for full details.
टिकटा बुक हो गई है ना? हाँ मील रिक्वेस्ट दे देते हैं हाँ सीटा कट्ठियां ने ना बिल्कुल ते लगेज इंक्लूडेड है ना हाँ ते पापा ने व्हील चेयर हाँ भाई हाँ सब बुक है मान ट्रैवल तो बुकिंग करवाओ सस्तियां टिकटां ते वधिया सर्विस पाओ मान ट्रैवल दा स्टाफ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਫ਼ਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤਾਂ ਦਾ ਹਰ ਵੇਲੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ 24 ਘੰਟੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ 'ਚ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਟੈਲੀਫੋਨ 02080999900 मान ट्रैवल सुनते रहो पंजाब रेडियो.
You're listening to Panjab Radio, and I have Ayo Benson with me, who's a successful entrepreneur and is discussing with us about the factors, the variables. What is required to be a successful entrepreneur, and especially like I've heard it so many times with my elders or whatever, Pachara. It's his destiny, he just can't be rich, or his destiny, he can't lose weight, or his destiny, this or that. But Ayo Benson is saying, no, that is not the case. So you said when you have a goal from going from A to Z and you get to F and it gets a bit too tough, you don't blame destiny, you get the gold mine book. That's where the answers are.
Yeah, Monty, what I want to do as well for coming here today, because sometimes our goal in life is not to make, a lot of money. Even if we make the money, we'll give it away, like people that have done before. What I want to do, I said, I'm going to give 10 books away today. Okay. I'll give 10 e-books away. If your listeners, if they can reach out to you, the first 10 people to reach out to you, I'll give them the ebook. They give you their number and their email address. I'll send it to them.
Okay, so if you want to get in touch with me, it's at Monty Panesar on Twitter. At Instagram is just Monty Panesar. You can get me on Facebook as well, Monty Panesar. Could they get in touch with you as well?
They can get in touch with me, Ayo Benson, on Facebook, Ayo Benson 44 on my business page. It's very, very easy. Ayo AYOBENSON 44. Just send me a message and I'll send you the ebook for free. It's called Gold Mine of Your Mind. It's how to tap into the powers of your mind to do extraordinary things in life. And don't take my words for it, because so many people that have read the book, they've given me feedback of how it has changed their lives. And there is an audio book version of it. It's on Audible. That's sold for £18. I can't give you that for free because it's not, I don't have the full right to it. I share the right of that book with 18, Amazon.
18 times 10, £180. That gets a bit too much.
So I can't give you that for free. But if you prefer audio, you can go on audible.com and find Gold Mine of Your Mind. And, if you type Gold Mine of Your Mind, you find it on Audible and iTunes as well. And the paperback and ebook is on Amazon worldwide. So
there you go. There you can get a free copy of the book. If you're feeling quite inspirational, you kind of think, I could do with, a bit of something different in my life.
Yeah.
I think Gold Mine is definitely one of the books to go for.
Absolutely.
So we was going back to, what are like these factors to be a successful entrepreneur? Like what other factors would you successful?
Yeah, specifically we're talking entrepreneurship now. Yeah?
Yes.
It is even part of my book is talking about you can have the best strategies in the world, but if you don't have belief, you take one step forward and you take 2 steps backward.
Yes.
Yeah? So belief is very critical as an entrepreneur. You must have belief in what you're doing. So that's part of, getting your mind right. How do you have belief? Oh, Monty, you wanted to fire me that question. That Good. How do you have belief? It is, the Christianity, Islam, and all of that. They preach to us that I've believed in this, I've believed in that, but they never told us how to have belief. They just tell us, go away and have faith. And they didn't tell us how do you develop faith. It's in my book, but I'll give you a snippet because we don't have enough time. One of the ways to have faith is to actually write down your goals. And it goes beyond that. Write down that goal, whatever it is that you want to achieve. Let's say you want to make £1 million in your business this year. Sit down and write it down. Okay? And after you've written it down, there is a part of your mind that will tell you, yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. So there is a part of your mind that will say, yeah. So you need to bring that part of your mind together with yourself that, you've decided to do this. You need to, every part of your body, every part of your soul and spirit must be in tune. So another way to do that, I do this with, business leaders that I coach, is you write 20 reasons why it is possible.
All right, so you write your goal.
Write the goal.
To be a millionaire by this year.
Yeah.
Then you do 20 reasons.
20 reasons why it is possible.
Why is it possible?
Yeah. The reason why that is powerful is when you handwrite, don't type it, write it with your hand. There is a university research that the writing hand is connected to the brain 40%.
So what about people who have these spreadsheets on these little, iPads and doing all of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's useful. That's technology. Yeah, but when you want to set goals, actually write it. It's very, very powerful. What I've tested it as well. When I set a goal, the goals that I set and I follow these principles, I always get people, circumstances, forces combining together to help you. Yeah. So what you need to do is to write 20 reasons why it is possible. What that will do is it will enhance your faith. Yeah. It will enhance your faith. It's like you're selling the idea to yourself by going through that process. There are so many other ways to increase your faith. Meditation is one of them. Some Christians think meditation is not right and all of that. I don't want to interfere with anybody's faith, but for me, meditation is very powerful. If you know people like Deepak Chopra, Sadhguru, and all these mighty gurus, they preach meditation. Even when you're unwell, when you do meditation, you feel better, because stress makes everything worse.
Yes, it's like they say, you put someone under stress in the same circumstances, they just have different behaviors different. Take the stress away,
Yeah.
they're able to do the same things in an ordinary manner.
Exactly. So stress makes everything worse. When you meditate, you're calm. You know, you're able to actually make better decisions. And one other advantage of it is the brain goes in directions. Richard Bandler said, brains aren't designed to get results because they go in directions. Yeah? But when you calm yourself down and you meditate, you're focused. You'll be able to focus on one thing throughout the day and get results instead of doing something for 2 minutes, for 3 minutes. Especially in this world of social media, people are fleeting their time away on social media without knowing it. So they just discover that the day is gone. If you're working for yourself, the day is gone. You haven't achieved anything because you've been jumping from one task to another, to another, to another without completing any of them. You're not going to get results if you haven't completed it.
It's like, I'll give you an example. It's a great example you give. It's like whenever I go into a sauna,
Mm-hmm.
I look at, you look at the sand grain and you turn it around,
Mm-hmm.
and everything goes at 1 grain at a time.
Yeah.
You don't see like 2 or 3 grain goes. There's always 1 grain at a time.
Yeah.
And it's the same example here. If you've got
Yeah.
one goal in mind,
Mm-hmm.
then you saying, right, I want to become a millionaire by end of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
No, by the end of 2020. Let's get
2020,
That's
yeah.
too far away. And,
You're already a millionaire. Come on. Multi-millionaire. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Liverpool 4-0, by the way.
Okay. Liverpool 4. All right.
Everton's being Watford. So yeah. So I think you're right. Your 20 reasons. I think this is like really very good step-by-step, process.
Yeah.
That you're explaining.
Yeah. Actually, I have a course. I have a course where I take people through the whole of this. It's 6 weeks. They go through it in 6 weeks.
So you have a 6-week course for this.
Yeah. So it goes through everything. I call it rapid change program.
Yeah.
The reason for that is.
So how can people get involved with this rapid change program?
Oh, very, very easy. The same process. They go through. Just ask me on social media, on Facebook, Ayo Benson 44. Go to Ayo Benson 44 and just send me a message with your details. Then I'll get my team to be in touch with you. Actually, when you get on the page, you see list of so many people that have gone through the program and what they've achieved. So in video, immediately after the course, they record it, and a while after, when they've started using the processes and all of that, the result they've got, very, very powerful. Because...
Is there a cost to this course?
Oh, yeah. There is a cost to it.
Do we have different packages, different options? Let's be honest, subcontinent, Indian, South Asian... Money is the first thing.
when they get on the platform, all the packages and everything is included, but they should get in touch.
What does it range from, just about?
Well, it's from 500 to 2,000 pounds. Okay. Yeah. But it's like a drop in the ocean compared with the result you're gonna get. So
if you don't speculate, accumulate, if you don't spend money on yourself, on self-development, how are you gonna get better?
Let me tell you a story. There was a time about 5 years ago, I bought a course for £5,000. Yeah. And my friend said, "Are you crazy? The course is not worth it." Yeah. And I said to them, "But I'm worth it." Yeah? I'm worth it because I'm developing myself. And that is the power in all of this is, if you don't develop yourself, you just remain the same. And one of the powerful thing about my courses is it's not about teaching you new things. It's about getting you to behave in a way that you do not currently behave. I'll say that again. Get you to behave in a way that you do not currently behave. Why? Because most of our behaviors, they are habitual behaviors. Well, what does that mean? That
I was going to ask you the question, but you ask the questions yourself.
Okay, I'll let you be asking me the question.
I'm loving this. I'm I'm enjoying this a lot. Keep going.
Yeah. So why? How do you know that 95% of our behavior are naturally habitual? You wake up in the morning. The first thing you do, pick up your brush, you go brush, it's habitual. You brush with your right hand, it's habitual. Yeah? You don't even think about those things anymore. You have a way you go through to work, you pass through that same way every day. It's the same thing. The way you speak to your children is the same day in, day out. Deepak Chopra said, we have over 60,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of them are the thoughts we had yesterday.
Wow.
So, when people get into a rut, that's why people can't get out, because they keep behaving the same way. Yeah?
Oh, and that's how people get, depression, because they get the same thoughts
every day. And the moment you get into negative terrain, it will now spiral out of control. Yeah, because it will be attracting whatever thoughts. You test it, my friend. Is pick a positive thought, and then watch it grow. You see, it will attract other positive thoughts. In the same way, pick a negative thought, that's more rapid. It will attract other negative thoughts very, very rapidly. So the power of those courses is to stop the habitual behavior first.
I see. So stop the sort of the negative kind of behaviors.
Yeah.
You want to keep on to the positive ones, right?
Yeah. You need to. You can't switch from negative thoughts to positive thoughts. It's like trying to push a trailer with your hand. Yeah. So you need to slow it down. There is a systematic process to it. You need to slow the thoughts down, and then you break the habits, not by directly breaking your thoughts habit, because that's much more difficult to do. You break your everyday habits. You break that first. Then you're sending message to your brain that, okay, you need a change. Yeah? You need a change. Then your brain will get that. So your thought processes will follow suit. Let me give you an example. When you wake up and you pick up your brush and you brush with your right hand and you're not even thinking about it, when you get to the bathroom tomorrow, pick up your brush with your left hand.
I'm going to find it strange.
Exactly. And that's the good thing about it. You're going to find it strange, but you're sending message to your brain that the way you've been doing things in the past is going to change. It needs to change. Yeah? So you've broken one habitual behavior. So you can break all your habitual behavior one after the other like that. Doesn't mean you can go back to them. Later, when you've changed your thought processes, you can go back to brushing with your right hand. But in the meantime, you want to break all your habitual behavior so that sends messages to your brain. You want a change.
Right, so you start the change with your left hand brushing, and then you can start changing the other behaviors.
Yeah, not only that, if you take a particular route to work, change that route.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. There are so many other ways to do it, but, we don't have enough time. Maybe you invite me back.
Well, it depends on the response, doesn't it? Because depends on, looking at my Twitter feed later. People have sent their numbers and emails for the free book.
Yeah.
At Monty Panesar, and Monty Panesar on Instagram and Facebook as well. And how can they get in touch with you? Because I'm sure there'll be people thinking, I actually need a bit of help to reach my goals. I probably need help to write the 20 reasons as well.
Yeah.
How can they get in touch with you?
They can go on Facebook, Ayo Benson 44. On Twitter, Ayo Benson 44. Ayo Benson is spelled A for Alpha, Y Yankee, O Oscar, B Ball, E Echo, N November, S Sierra, O Oscar, N November. The number 44. So Ayo Benson 44 on Facebook and on Twitter as well.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you for coming in, and it was absolute pleasure. Entrepreneurial mindset, it's fascinating, isn't it?
Absolutely.
How to make decisions under a minute.
Absolutely, that's true.
Want to get more out of your favorite radio station? Like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe.
Wow.
our YouTube channel. Search for Panjab Radio.
From the Sky News Centre at 5, a student at the University of York has been confirmed as one of 2 people in the UK who have coronavirus. The uni says the situation is being closely monitored, but that the risk of the infection spreading is low. Public Health England